The great oceans of our world are vast, mysterious, and hold treasures beyond imagination. But among all the riches hidden beneath the waves, few are as coveted or as dangerous to obtain as the mighty king crab. Beneath the restless waves in the cold, dark depths live creatures of extraordinary value. The king crab, with its spiny armor and massive claws, lurks in the frigid waters of the Bering Sea, a region infamous for its brutality and unpredictability. These crabs are not just sources of food, they are symbols of luxury, sought after by connoisseurs across the globe. A single king crab can fetch hundreds of dollars at market, making them a prize worth risking everything for. But acquiring these delicacies is no simple task. The preparation for a king crab fishing expedition is a story of immense courage, profound risk, and incredible human endeavor. Crews spend weeks readying their vessels, checking every weld, every cable, every winch, knowing that a single failure could mean disaster in the open sea. Fishermen venture into some of the most hostile environments on Earth, battling freezing temperatures, violent storms, and the raw, untamed power of the sea. The Bering Sea is notorious for its sudden squalls, monstrous waves, and sheets of ice that can form in minutes, threatening to capsize even the sturdiest vessel. Their pursuit is a high-stakes gamble where the rewards can be life-changing, but the price of failure can be ultimate. Every year, seasoned fishermen are lost to the sea, their stories a somber reminder of the risks involved. This is a world far removed from the pristine white tablecloths and gleaming silverware where these foods are eventually served. In the harbours at dawn, crews gather in silence, their faces etched with anticipation and anxiety, knowing that the next week could bring fortune or tragedy. It is a realm of steel, ice, and relentless waves. The decks become slick with freezing spray, and every surface is a potential hazard. Men work in shifts, often with little sleep, their bodies battered by cold and exhaustion. Here fortunes are made and lost in a matter of days or even hours. A single haul can mean the difference between a profitable season and financial ruin. The seafood harvested from these unforgiving waters, from the giant king crab of the Arctic to the delicate abalone of the Australian coast, commands astonishing prices. But it is the king crab that stands as the ultimate prize, its value a direct reflection of the danger involved in its capture. This value is a direct reflection of the danger involved in its capture. Men work dangerously close to the edge, one misstep away from being swept overboard by a rogue wave or a shifting pot. Every succulent bite of king crab, every golden piece of uni carries with it an unseen story of a perilous journey, a tale of human resilience against the overwhelming force of nature. The king crab season is short, intense, and unforgiving. Every hour counts, and every decision can mean the difference between survival and disaster. The quest for these marine treasures is a testament to human determination. It pushes the boundaries of technology and physical endurance. Crews rely on advanced sonar, GPS, and weather tracking, but even the best technology cannot guarantee safety in the face of nature's fury. Divers descend into frigid blackness, fishermen steer their vessels through tempestuous gales, and entire supply chains operate with breathless, clockwork precision to deliver these fragile bounties to market. The teamwork on deck is crucial. Every man's life depends on the others. The stakes are impossibly high. A single shipment can be worth millions of dollars, yet a minor delay or a slight change in temperature can render it worthless. The pressure is relentless, and mistakes are costly. It is a world of extremes, where the line between immense profit and devastating loss is razor-thin and constantly shifting with the tides. Captains must make split-second decisions, balancing risk and reward with every move. In this exploration, we will journey to the planet's most extreme marine frontiers. We will meet the men who risk everything for a chance at fortune and hear their stories of survival, loss, and triumph. We will witness the dramatic spectacle of king crab fishing in the frozen Bering Sea, where pots weighing hundreds of pounds are hauled from the depths and every catch is a battle against the elements. And we will dive for the fragile sea urchin, whose value depends on a race against time and whose harvest is no less perilous. We will uncover the secrets of the ancient geoduck clam, another treasure of the deep, and see how its harvest demands both skill and nerve. We will trace the lobster's incredible transformation from a common meal to a celebrated delicacy, and the men who make it possible. We will delve into the dangerous world of abalone diving, where every descent is a test of endurance and courage. And we will explore the high-tech innovations of modern grouper farming, where technology and tradition meet in the quest for the perfect catch. This is the story of the world's most expensive seafood and the extraordinary lengths men go to bring it from the depths of the ocean to the dinner plate. The journey is perilous. The stakes are high, and the rewards, if they come, are hard-won. In the far northern reaches of the Pacific, where Alaska's rugged coast meets the unforgiving Bering Sea, a dramatic and high-stakes hunt unfolds each winter. This is the world of king crab fishing, a pursuit that is as much about calculated risk and financial strategy as it is about brute strength and endurance. For a few short weeks in the dead of winter, a fleet of seasoned fishermen prepares to set out on a perilous mission. Each vessel represents a significant investment, often requiring hundreds of thousands of dollars just to get out of the harbor. Fuel, bait, gear, and crew wages must all be paid up front, with no guarantee of a return. Their target is the Alaskan king crab, a colossal crustacean with a leg span that can reach nearly 6 feet. The market for these crabs is fiercely competitive, and prices can fluctuate wildly depending on the season's catch and global demand. This is not just fishing, it is a high-stakes gamble against nature at its most ferocious. The men who take on this challenge know that a single miscalculation, whether in navigation, timing, or weather, can mean financial ruin. The fishing window is brief, lasting only 2 to 4 weeks before the sea freezes over completely, locking the crabs beneath an impenetrable layer of ice. Every hour counts, and the pressure to fill the quota is immense. The potential prize is immense. A single successful haul can earn a boat over $1 million, but the upfront costs are staggering. Each trip can cost upwards of $200,000, and a poor season can leave a crew deep in debt. The conditions these fishermen face are nothing short of brutal. Many recount stories of frostbite, exhaustion, and near misses with disaster. One veteran captain recalls, "You're always one rogue wave away from losing everything. But if you play it safe, you might not make enough to cover your costs." Arctic storms can whip up with little warning, bringing force 9 winds and monstrous waves that tower over 16 feet high. The risk of capsizing or being swept overboard is ever present, and insurance premiums reflect the danger if coverage can be found at all. The air temperature plummets to a bone-chilling -40°C, and freezing spray coats every surface of the boat in a thick, heavy layer of ice. Crews must constantly chip away at the ice to prevent the vessel from becoming top-heavy and capsizing. The work is relentless and physically demanding. Shifts run around the clock with little time for rest. Every man on board is expected to pull his weight, and mistakes can be costly. Fishermen must deploy and retrieve hundreds of massive steel traps or pots, each weighing hundreds of pounds. The cost of a single pot is around $800, and losing even a few can eat into the season's profits. Each pot is baited with herring or cod, representing an investment of hope and money. The strategy is to place pots in areas where crabs are likely to migrate, but even the most experienced captains admit that luck plays a huge role. These pots are lowered to the sea floor, baited to lure the magnificent crabs. Some captains use sonar and years of logbook data to predict the best locations, while others rely on gut instinct and experience. Patience is a virtue, but time is the enemy. The longer the pots soak, the greater the risk of losing crabs to predators or rival boats. "You're always watching the clock," says one deckhand. "Every minute could mean the difference between a full pot and an empty one." After letting the pot soak, the grueling process of retrieval begins. The crew braces themselves for the outcome, knowing that a single haul can make or break the trip. The crew works around the clock, winching the heavy traps from the icy depths, their hopes rising with every foot of line. The anticipation is palpable. Every man knows what's at stake. A full pot, teeming with large, healthy crabs, is a sight of pure joy and relief. For many, it's the payoff for months of planning, risk-taking, and hard labour. A successful expedition aims to harvest as much as 200,000 pounds of crab, a staggering haul valued at over $3 million. But the margin for error is razor-thin, and a single storm or equipment failure can wipe out profits in an instant. The live crabs are immediately sorted and placed into vast tanks of cold seawater to keep them alive and healthy for their journey to markets around the world, where they can fetch up to $60 per kilogram. The quality of the catch directly impacts the final payout. The journey does not end when the crabs are brought aboard. Every step, from sorting to shipping, is a race against time and temperature. Mishandling can mean thousands in lost revenue. Those that are healthy and strong are destined for high-end restaurants, packed carefully in styrofoam boxes with cooling gels to ensure they arrive alive. The logistics are complex, and shipping delays can be disastrous. Crabs that do not survive the harsh ordeal of capture are processed immediately on board. Every man on the crew knows that waste is not an option. They are boiled, cooled, and their rich meat is meticulously separated by hand before being canned or frozen for a different segment of the market. Even the shells are saved for use in fertilizers and supplements. Every part of the catch is valuable. The men on these boats know that efficiency and attention to detail can mean the difference between profit and loss. This intense 7-day sprint is a powerful display of human grit and calculated risk, where fishermen bet their safety, their savings, and their futures against the frozen might of the Bering Sea for a chance at its red gold. For many, the king crab gamble is not just a job, it's a way of life, defined by risk, reward, and the relentless pursuit of fortune. Far from the icy chaos of the Bering Sea, another high-risk harvest unfolds in the frigid, crystal-clear waters hugging the rugged coastline. Here the environment is harsh, icy winds whip across the surface, and the water temperature hovers just above freezing, demanding both physical endurance and technical expertise from those who dare to enter. In these waters, divers equipped with thick neoprene wetsuits, full-face masks, and heavy weight belts descend into the depths. Their gear is carefully chosen to protect against hypothermia and to allow for extended periods underwater where they search for a small spiny creature known as the sea urchin. The sea urchin, while it may appear unassuming, is a master of camouflage, often blending seamlessly with the kelp and rocks. Divers must use sharp eyes and steady hands to spot them as they cling to the reef with their tube feet. Hidden within its spiny shell is one of the world's most prized and delicate treasures, uni, the golden roe that is the centerpiece of high-end sushi cuisine. The industry built around this fragile product is a frantic race against time. Divers must coordinate with boat crews, surface support, and dock workers, all moving with urgency, because every second counts and a single mistake can evaporate millions of dollars in potential profit. A single small tray of the highest grade uni can sell for as much as $150, making each dive a potentially lucrative but high-stakes endeavor. The harvest itself is an art of precision and care. Divers use specialized tools, short, flat-bladed knives or small rakes, to gently pry the urchins from the rocks without damaging their fragile shells. Each diver carries a mesh collection bag secured to their waist or clipped to a harness, allowing them to keep both hands free for delicate work. Descending into waters often below 5 degrees Celsius, they must meticulously hand-pick each urchin from the rocky reefs, avoiding sudden movements that could crack the shell or stir up silt, which would obscure their vision. the diver's gloved hands must move with a gentle, deliberate touch, as the creature is incredibly fragile. Even the slightest pressure can bruise the delicate roe inside. Any bruising or damage to the urchin can ruin the delicate roe, rendering it completely worthless. Divers must constantly check their bags to ensure the urchins remain intact during collection and ascent. Working methodically, divers fill their mesh bags with the spiky spheres, then signal to the surface crew for retrieval. The bags are hoisted aboard using ropes or small winches, minimizing jostling to protect the valuable cargo. This painstaking process requires not only great skill but also a deep understanding of the marine environment. Divers must read the currents, avoid entanglement in kelp, and maintain constant communication with the surface via radio or hand signals, all while balancing speed with the need for absolute gentleness. Once ashore, the race intensifies. The freshly harvested urchins are rushed from the boats to the processing facility, where time is of the essence to preserve their quality. At the facility, a team of skilled workers, many of whom have spent years perfecting their craft, sort the urchins by size and quality, discarding any that show signs of damage or disease. Each urchin is carefully split open by hand using a specialized knife, revealing the 5 delicate slivers of golden uni inside. The process requires a steady hand and a practiced eye to avoid damaging the precious roe. Using fine-tipped tweezers, workers gently lift the roe from the shell, rinse it in purified seawater to remove any traces of grit or shell, and meticulously arrange it on small wooden trays. The trays are designed to showcase the uni's color and texture and must be handled with extreme care. This process must be done with surgical precision. Even a slight tear or bruise can ruin the uni's perfect shape and creamy texture, reducing its value dramatically. The entire operation is a symphony of coordinated effort, with each worker performing a specific role in the chain, all designed to preserve the fleeting perfection of this marine jewel. It is a testament to the detailed craftsmanship and discipline required for luxury food production, where every movement is deliberate and every second is precious. The greatest challenge for the uni industry, however, is logistics. Maintaining the cold chain is critical, as uni is highly perishable and sensitive to temperature changes. Uni is at its peak freshness for less than 24 hours after being processed. Workers must pack the trays quickly, using insulated boxes and ice packs to keep the temperature consistently below 4 degrees Celsius. This means the entire supply chain, from the ocean floor to the auction house in Japan or a fine dining restaurant in New York, must operate with breathtaking speed and efficiency. Every link in the chain is critical, and any delay can be catastrophic. The trays are packed and rushed to airports, kept constantly chilled below 4 degrees Celsius. Temperature loggers are often included in shipments to monitor conditions throughout the journey. Any fluctuation in temperature can ruin the texture and taste, and a delay of just 30 minutes can cut the product's price in half. The risk of spoilage is ever present, and the margin for error is razor thin. There is no insurance for such delays. The risk falls entirely on the producers. Every shipment is a high-stakes gamble against the clock, where only the most skilled, disciplined, and prepared can hope to succeed in the race for sea urchin. Now, let's dive deep into the fascinating world of geoduck harvesting. The geoduck, pronounced gooey duck, is one of the world's largest burrowing clams, native to the Pacific Northwest. Its unique appearance, marked by a long, protruding siphon, makes it instantly recognizable, and its value has soared in recent decades. The process of harvesting geoduck is both challenging and meticulous. Harvesters begin at low tide, scanning the mudflats for telltale holes that mark the presence of a geoduck beneath the surface. Using specialized high-pressure water hoses, they carefully liquefy the sand, allowing them to reach down as much as 3 feet to extract the clam without damaging its delicate shell or siphon. This method requires skill, patience, and a keen eye, as geoducks can quickly retract deeper into the sand if disturbed. The history of geoduck harvesting stretches back centuries, with indigenous peoples of the Pacific Northwest collecting these clams for sustenance. However, it wasn't until the late 20th century that commercial geoduck fisheries began to flourish, driven by skyrocketing demand in Asian markets, where the geoduck is prized as a delicacy and symbol of prosperity. Today, geoduck harvesting is a tightly regulated industry with strict quotas and licensing to ensure sustainability. The economic impact is substantial. A single geoduck can fetch hundreds of dollars on the international market, and the industry generates millions in revenue annually for coastal communities. From the muddy flats of Washington and British Columbia to bustling seafood auctions in Hong Kong, the journey of the geoduck is a testament to the enduring connection between natural resources and global commerce. In summary, geoduck harvesting is a blend of tradition, innovation, and economic opportunity, an extraordinary chapter in the story of modern seafood. Along the wild, wind-battered Atlantic coast of Canada, especially in the storied provinces of Nova Scotia and Newfoundland, the lobster is more than just a crustacean. It's the lifeblood of entire communities and the foundation of a billion-dollar industry. Here, the ocean's rhythm dictates the pace of life, and generations of fishermen have built their livelihoods on the promise of the sea. Today, Canadian lobster is celebrated worldwide as a symbol of luxury and fine dining, with prices soaring to $100 per kilogram in high-end markets. Its sweet, tender meat is the centerpiece of gourmet feasts, a far cry from its humble beginnings. In colonial times, lobsters were so plentiful that they washed up in piles along the shore. Considered so common, they were fed to prisoners, servants, and even used as fertilizer. The transformation of lobster from a poor man's meal to a delicacy is a testament to changing tastes, advances in refrigeration and transportation, and the relentless work ethic of the men who harvest them. The traditions of lobster fishing run deep. Many fishermen learned the trade from their fathers and grandfathers, inheriting not just boats and gear, but a profound respect for the ocean's power and unpredictability. Each season they prepare their vessels and traps, ready to face the North Atlantic's notorious storms and icy waters. The day begins before dawn, with fishermen heading out under the first light, their boats slicing through the morning mist. The work is dictated by the tides and the weather, demanding both patience and resilience. Out at sea, conditions can change in an instant. Dense fog can swallow the horizon, freezing rain lashes the decks, and waves crash relentlessly against the hull. Every trip is a test of skill and endurance, with safety always at the forefront of every decision. Preparing for a single fishing trip is a major undertaking. Fishermen invest thousands of dollars in fuel, bait, and constant maintenance of their traps and boats. Every piece of equipment is checked and double-checked, as a single failure at sea can be costly or even dangerous. Even the catch itself presents hazards. Lobsters are powerful creatures, and handling them requires skill and caution. Their claws can clamp down with a force of up to 9,000 pounds per square inch, enough to break fingers or cause serious injury. Fishermen quickly band the claws to prevent accidents, a routine that demands both speed and precision. The physical demands are immense. Each day, hundreds of heavy traps, some weighing over 50 pounds when full, must be hauled from the seabed, emptied, baited, and reset. The repetitive motion is grueling, requiring strength, stamina, and teamwork. The Canadian lobster industry is among the most tightly regulated in the world, with strict rules enforced by fisheries officers to ensure the sustainability of the resource. Conservation measures are everywhere, from posted regulations at every wharf to mandatory measuring of every lobster caught. Only those that meet the legal size can be kept. Undersized lobsters are carefully measured with gauges and returned to the sea, giving them a chance to grow and reproduce. This practice is strictly followed as the future of the fishery depends on it. It takes up to 7 years for a lobster to reach legal size, a slow growth that makes careful management essential. The cold, nutrient-rich waters of the North Atlantic are the perfect environment for these hard-shelled survivors. Any lobster found carrying eggs is immediately returned to the ocean, ensuring the next generation of lobsters can thrive. This is a point of pride among fishermen, who see themselves as stewards of the resource. The fishing season is strictly limited, with boats tied up during the off-season and traps stacked high on the shore. During these months, fishermen repair gear, share stories, and prepare for the next season, maintaining a sense of camaraderie and tradition. Sustainability is at the heart of the Canadian lobster industry. Many fishermen participate in certification programs and take pride in their role as guardians of the ocean, ensuring that their catch remains a premium food source for generations to come. The pristine, icy waters of the North Atlantic are crucial for producing the hard-shelled, nutrient-rich lobsters that are so highly prized. The environment shapes the quality of the catch, and fishermen are deeply connected to these waters. Once caught, lobsters are kept alive in circulating seawater tanks on the boats, then transported to modern onshore facilities. Here they are sorted, graded, and prepared for shipment to markets around the world. The journey of the Canadian lobster from the cold depths of the Atlantic to the tables of fine restaurants is a story of tradition, resilience, and respect for the sea. For the fishermen who dedicate their lives to this demanding trade, every catch is a testament to their skill, their heritage, and their enduring bond with the ocean. Off the rugged southern coast of Australia, where the land meets the wild, unpredictable sea, a select group of divers prepare for one of the most perilous and lucrative professions on Earth. Here, the ocean is both a provider and a relentless adversary, its pristine blue waters concealing both immense wealth and ever-present danger. The object of their quest is the abalone, a large marine mollusk whose shimmering shell and prized meat have earned it the nickname sea gold. Abalone are found clinging to rocks in the cold, nutrient-rich waters, their shells camouflaged against the ocean floor. Each abalone can command a price of up to $120, making it one of the most valuable shellfish in the world. For divers, a successful day's haul can mean thousands of dollars, but every dollar is hard-earned and fraught with risk. The journey begins before dawn as divers suit up on windswept shores, bracing themselves for the cold and the unpredictable swells. The Southern Ocean is notorious for its sudden storms and powerful waves, which can turn a routine dive into a life-threatening ordeal in seconds. Abalone diving is widely regarded as one of the most dangerous fishing jobs on the planet. Divers must possess not only physical strength and stamina, but also sharp instincts and nerves of steel. The job demands a deep understanding of the ocean's moods, as well as the ability to remain calm under pressure. The dangers are many and ever-present. Visibility can drop in an instant, and the ocean's currents are unpredictable, sometimes shifting with little warning. Divers must constantly monitor their surroundings, as a moment's distraction can lead to disaster. Each dive takes them to depths between 33 and 98 feet, where the water temperature often hovers below 10 degrees Celsius. The cold bites through even the thickest wetsuits, sapping energy and slowing reflexes. Powerful surges and currents can slam divers against jagged rocks or entangle them in dense kelp forests. The risk of injury is constant, and even experienced divers must remain vigilant to avoid being pinned or swept away. Yet, perhaps the greatest fear is the presence of great white sharks. These apex predators patrol the same waters, drawn by the commotion of the hunt. Divers are always alert, scanning the blue for the telltale shadow or sudden movement that signals danger. Every descent is a calculated risk, a test of skill, preparation, and courage. Divers rely on their training, their equipment, and their ability to remain calm in the face of the unknown. The actual harvesting is done entirely by hand. Divers must locate abalone hidden among rocks, often in crevices or beneath overhangs, and approach them with care. Using a specialized abalone iron, a flat, sturdy tool, divers gently pry the mollusks from the rocks. The technique requires precision and patience. Damaging the abalone's muscular foot can reduce its value or render it unsellable. Abalone are slow-growing creatures, and their populations are highly sensitive to overfishing. They require specific conditions: cold, clean, nutrient-rich waters and rocky habitats to thrive. It takes 3 to 5 years for an abalone to reach legal harvest size. Only a handful of regions worldwide, including southern Australia, provide the right environment for these mollusks to flourish. After hours underwater, the catch is brought to the surface and loaded onto boats. Every abalone is counted and inspected, ensuring that only legal-sized specimens are taken. Back on shore, the abalone are sorted and prepared for processing. This stage is just as meticulous as the dive itself, requiring careful handling to maintain the quality of the product. The meat is removed from the shell by hand, cleaned and prepared without the use of chemicals. This preserves the abalone's delicate texture and rich natural flavor, which is highly prized in luxury markets. Most of the harvest is destined for export, especially to Asia, where abalone is considered a delicacy and a symbol of status and prosperity. The high value of abalone, however, has also given rise to a dangerous black market. Poachers operate under cover of darkness, risking arrest and severe penalties to smuggle abalone out of the country. Law enforcement agencies conduct regular patrols and inspections, but the lure of quick profit continues to drive illegal activity. This threatens not only the abalone population, but also the livelihoods of legitimate divers who follow strict regulations. It is estimated that several tons of abalone are smuggled out of Australia each year, undermining conservation efforts and putting additional pressure on wild stocks. The illicit trade not only endangers the species, but also places honest divers and the sustainability of the entire fishery at risk. The stakes are high, and the consequences of overexploitation are severe. In the end, the pursuit of abalone in Australia is a story of courage, skill, and respect for the ocean's power. It is a constant battle against natural hazards and human greed, fought by those who are willing to risk everything for a chance at sea gold. Not all valuable seafood comes from the wild. In fact, some of the most lucrative catches are now the result of cutting-edge science and technology cultivated far from the unpredictable open ocean. In the rapidly evolving world of aquaculture, the farming of the giant grouper stands out as one of the most ambitious, technologically advanced, and capital-intensive operations in the seafood industry. The giant grouper, a formidable predator, can reach lengths of over 6 feet and tip the scales at more than 440 pounds. With a lifespan stretching up to 40 years, these fish are not only impressive in size, but also in their biological complexity. In their natural habitat, giant groupers are rare. Their breeding season is brief, just a few weeks each year, making wild-caught specimens a true delicacy and driving prices sky-high in luxury seafood markets. A single successful harvest of farmed grouper, weighing in at just 6 tons, can command a staggering $1.5 million, making this species a prime target for aquaculture entrepreneurs. But the path to a profitable harvest is anything but simple. Grouper farming is a high-risk, high-reward venture that demands significant investment in infrastructure, technology, and scientific expertise. The journey begins not in the ocean, but in a state-of-the-art laboratory. Here, marine biologists and aquaculture specialists use advanced genetic screening to select the healthiest and most robust broodstock. Each parent fish is chosen based on DNA analysis, ensuring that only those with optimal growth rates, disease resistance, and adaptability are bred. This scientific approach maximizes the chances of producing strong, fast-growing offspring. The most delicate phase of the operation is the rearing of larvae. Newly hatched groupers are incredibly fragile, requiring precise control over every aspect of their environment. In specialized indoor tanks, technicians monitor water temperature, salinity, oxygen levels, and nutrient supply around the clock. Automated systems adjust these variables in real time, responding to even the slightest changes to prevent stress or mortality among the young fish. Over the course of 2 to 4 years, the groupers are gradually transitioned from indoor tanks to larger outdoor systems, and finally to massive offshore pens. Each stage requires careful management to ensure optimal growth and survival. Once the fish reach a certain size, they are moved to expansive offshore pens where they have room to swim and develop the firm, high-quality flesh prized by chefs and consumers alike. Here, technology is at the forefront. Sophisticated monitoring platforms are installed on the pens, allowing technicians to track every aspect of the environment and the fish's health. Water quality sensors, temperature probes, and salinity meters feed data into centralized computer systems. These systems are often linked to artificial intelligence, algorithms that can detect subtle patterns and predict potential issues before they become critical. Underwater cameras provide a continuous, real-time view of the groupers, enabling farm managers to observe feeding behavior, spot signs of illness, and ensure the fish are thriving. Oxygen sensors are critical, as groupers require high levels of dissolved oxygen. If levels drop, automated aeration systems kick in, and AI-driven analytics alert staff to intervene before fish are put at risk. Despite all precautions, the business remains risky. A sudden storm, equipment failure, or outbreak of disease can devastate an entire crop, resulting in losses that can reach hundreds of thousands of dollars overnight. When the groupers finally reach market size, typically between 33 and 66 pounds, the harvest must be executed with speed and precision to maintain quality and minimize stress on the fish. The harvested fish are immediately transported to shore, where they are processed in temperature-controlled facilities designed to preserve freshness and prevent spoilage. To lock in the delicate texture and flavor, the groupers are flash-frozen at -31 degrees Celsius. This rapid freezing technique is essential for meeting the exacting standards of international buyers. After being vacuum-packed, the fish are loaded into insulated shipping containers and dispatched to high-end markets across the globe, from luxury restaurants in Asia to gourmet suppliers in Europe and North America. Giant grouper farming is a testament to the power of science, technology, and business acumen. By combining genetic research, environmental engineering, and advanced logistics, these operations transform a wild ocean giant into a meticulously cultivated luxury product, meeting global demand while pushing the boundaries of modern aquaculture. The journey from the ocean's depths to the dining table is a symphony of contrasting elements, each note composed of risk, reward, and relentless human effort. Deep-sea fishing, especially for king crab and other prize seafood, is not merely an occupation. It is a calculated gamble where every decision can mean the difference between fortune and disaster. This world is defined by the collision of immense natural beauty and extreme peril. The ocean, vast and unpredictable, offers both bounty and danger in equal measure. Ancient traditions passed down through generations of fishermen now intertwine with cutting-edge technology, sonar, GPS, hydraulic winches, each tool designed to tip the odds in favor of survival and success. Every seafood we have explored, king crab, sea urchin, geoduck, lobster, abalone, and grouper, tells a unique story of value derived directly from challenge. The price of these delicacies is not set by rarity alone, but by the gauntlet of hazards that must be overcome to bring them to market. The astronomical prices they command are not arbitrary. They are a direct reflection of the risks undertaken, the specialized skills required, and the unforgiving nature of the sea. Each member of the crew must master a range of skills: navigation, weather prediction, mechanical repair, and the physical strength to haul heavy pots and nets in freezing, slippery conditions. The margin for error is razor thin. The logistics of transporting live seafood add another layer of complexity. Timing is everything. A single misstep can result in catastrophic loss. The equation is simple yet brutal. The greater the difficulty, the higher the reward. But the risks are omnipresent. Rogue waves, mechanical failure, hypothermia and exhaustion. Consider the fisherman in the Bering Sea, standing on a deck slick with ice, bracing against winds that can freeze exposed skin in seconds. Each moment is a test of endurance and focus as the elements conspire to sap strength and willpower, or the diver, descending into cold, murky waters where visibility is low and predators lurk, relying on training and nerve to harvest geoduck or abalone from the ocean floor. These are among the most dangerous workplaces on Earth. Every task, from setting traps to sorting the catch, is performed under the constant threat of injury or worse. The men on these boats are not merely harvesting food, they are wagering their lives against the fury of the sea for a chance at prosperity. Each trip is a calculated risk, a bet placed on weather forecasts, equipment reliability, and the unpredictable movements of marine life. This raw physical confrontation with nature is the foundation of the luxury seafood market. The value of each crab, lobster, or fish is inseparable from the ordeal required to obtain it. Value is embedded in every wave that crashes over the deck, every hour spent battling exhaustion and cold, every moment of danger narrowly avoided. The cold, dark water is both adversary and provider, demanding respect and constant vigilance. Every close call, a near miss with a swinging pot, a rogue wave that almost sweeps a man overboard, adds to the cost and to the story behind each meal. When the consumer sits down to enjoy king crab or abalone, he is tasting not just the flesh, but the echo of the adventure, the risk, and the human determination that brought it to the plate. Each bite is a celebration of survival, skill, and the relentless pursuit of reward. Time is a critical and unforgiving factor. The clock starts ticking the moment the catch leaves the water, and every second lost can mean a drop in quality and value. For delicacies like uni and geoduck, freshness is everything. Their value is ephemeral, vanishing as soon as the catch is exposed to air and warmth. This initiates a relentless race against time, where every link in the supply chain must perform flawlessly. The logistics are a high-stakes relay with no room for error. A delay of minutes can turn $1 million shipment into a worthless loss. The choreography of moving seafood from ocean to market spans continents, involving harvesters, transporters, and chefs, each playing a vital role. The pressure is immense. A single miscalculation, a mechanical breakdown, or a traffic jam can spell disaster for an entire season's work. This urgency adds another layer of risk, amplifying the stakes for everyone involved. The supply chain becomes a test of coordination and discipline, where every participant must execute his role with precision. From the harvester on the boat, to the pilot flying the cargo, to the chef preparing the final dish, each man's expertise is essential. Ultimately, the world of expensive seafood is a microcosm of humanity's relationship with the natural world, a story of taking from the wild, but also of learning to sustain it. The act of harvesting is balanced by the responsibility to preserve, to ensure that the bounty of the sea endures for future generations. Strict regulations in the lobster and abalone industries, and the careful release of undersized catch, reflect a growing awareness of the ocean's limits. Compliance with these rules is not just a legal obligation, but a matter of pride and survival for those who make their living from the sea. Innovative efforts in grouper aquaculture and sustainable practices are signs of a new era, one where risk and reward are balanced by stewardship. The treasures of the ocean are not infinite, and the men who work these waters are increasingly aware of their duty to protect them. The symphony of risk and reward must be played in harmony with respect and responsibility, or the music will one day cease. The pursuit of these delicacies pushes men to their physical and mental limits, forging bonds of brotherhood and respect for the sea. Yet it also inspires them to become better stewards of the magnificent and mysterious oceans that provide so much. ensuring that the balance of risk and reward endures for generations to come. Beneath the surface of every story about valuable seafood lies a deeper, more powerful narrative, one of relentless human ingenuity forged in the unforgiving crucible of the open ocean. The harvest of these marine treasures is not simply a matter of luck or brute force. It is the result of generations of men who have studied the tides, the migration patterns, and the subtle cues of the sea, transforming raw experience into practical wisdom. Every successful expedition is a testament to our species' remarkable ability to innovate, adapt, and overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges. On the deck, seasoned crews work in perfect unison, each man anticipating the next move, every gesture honed by years of hard-earned experience. Whether it is a lone diver carefully selecting a sea urchin from the ocean floor, relying on a steady hand and a keen eye, or a team of engineers designing an AI-powered fish farm, every step forward is built on a foundation of trial, error, and relentless problem-solving. The guiding force behind every innovation is human determination, men braving the elements, pushing through exhaustion, and refusing to yield to the sea's fury. This relentless drive to explore, to acquire, and to perfect is what transforms a simple marine creature into a global symbol of luxury sought after in the world's finest markets. Ingenuity is evident in every tool of the trade. From the earliest hand-carved wooden traps to today's precision-engineered gear, each piece is a product of necessity and invention. Consider the specially designed traps for king crabs. Massive steel cages, engineered to withstand the crushing pressure of the deep and the relentless battering of icy seas. These traps are the result of countless refinements, each improvement born from the lessons of past failures and the drive to bring home a bigger, safer catch. The boats themselves are marvels of engineering, built to slice through storm-lashed waves, their hulls reinforced to survive the punishing cold and the constant threat of ice. Think of the high-pressure water hoses that allow divers to gently unearth geoducks from their sandy tombs, a delicate operation that requires both technical skill and a deep respect for the living resource. Even the simple, specialized tweezers used to handle delicate unirods represent a thoughtful solution to a specific problem, ensuring that the most fragile treasures of the sea arrive at the table in perfect condition. Each piece of equipment, from the most basic hand tool to the most complex sonar system, is a product of experience, passed down through generations of fishermen or developed in modern laboratories by teams of dedicated researchers. The wisdom of the old is shared with the young, ensuring that every new generation is better equipped to face the challenges of the deep. In the modern era, scientists and engineers work side by side with fishermen, testing new materials, refining techniques, and pushing the boundaries of what is possible at sea. Ingenuity extends far beyond physical tools. It encompasses entire systems and strategies, from the careful planning of routes using digital navigation to the coordination of crews in the face of unpredictable weather. The creation of vast fish farms at sea, managed with precision and foresight, is a testament to the vision and adaptability of those who make their living from the water. The global cold chain, capable of transporting a live geoduck from the Pacific Northwest to a market in Shanghai within 36 hours, is a marvel of modern logistics, requiring seamless coordination and technical mastery at every step. Refrigerated trucks, specialized air cargo, and rapid customs clearance are all part of a system designed to preserve the freshness and value of every catch. The development of sustainable fishing practices, such as strict size limits and careful monitoring of stocks, demonstrates a forward-thinking ingenuity aimed at preserving the resource for the future. The protection of egg-bearing females, the release of undersized catch, and the use of selective gear all reflect a deep understanding of the delicate balance between harvest and conservation. High-tech grouper farms, equipped with DNA analysis and automated monitoring systems, represent a bold leap into the future of food production, applying scientific principles to the art of cultivation. These futuristic facilities are designed to maximize yield while minimizing environmental impact, a testament to the ingenuity and responsibility of those who operate them. Marine biologists and aquaculture specialists constantly test water quality, monitor fish health, and refine feeding regimens, ensuring that every aspect of the operation is optimized for success. In the end, the story of the world's most expensive seafood is a celebration of the human spirit, a tribute to the men who risk everything for a chance at fortune, and to the inventors and thinkers who make their success possible. It is about the courage to face the storm, the camaraderie of a crew united by a common goal, and the satisfaction of a job well done. It is about the grit to endure the harshest conditions, the resolve to keep going when the odds seem impossible, and the pride that comes from mastering a craft as old as civilization itself. It is about the precision required to handle the most delicate catch, the steady hands that turn raw bounty into culinary art. And it is about the wisdom to plan for tomorrow, to read the signs of the sea, and to pass on hard-won knowledge to those who will follow. This is a story written by fishermen, divers, scientists, and logisticians, each man contributing his unique skills to a shared, perilous goal. Every member of the crew, every innovator on shore, plays a vital role in the pursuit of the ocean's riches. Every time we savor a bite of these extraordinary foods, we are partaking in the culmination of immense effort, brilliant innovation, and the unbreakable will of those who make it possible. From the deck of a storm-tossed boat to the hands of a master chef, the journey of king crab and other treasures is a testament to the ingenuity and perseverance of men who refuse to accept limits. It is a powerful reminder that for all of nature's might and mystery, the most remarkable force of all is often human resilience. The weathered hands gripping the gear at dawn, the determined gaze fixed on the horizon, these are the faces of ingenuity, the embodiment of a spirit that will not be broken. And so, the unyielding quest for what lies beyond our reach continues, driven by the innovation, courage, and brotherhood of those who dare to challenge the deep. Gap 2S. Beneath the surface of the world's most lucrative crab fisheries lies a silent, ongoing dialogue between man and nature, a conversation written in currents, temperature shifts, and the mysterious migrations of the king crab. Far from a game of chance, each expedition is shaped by a deep scientific understanding of the crab's life cycle and the subtle environmental cues that dictate their movements. King crabs are not simply scattered across the seafloor, they are travelers, following ancient migratory routes that stretch for miles along the continental shelf. These migrations are triggered by a delicate interplay of factors: water temperature, salinity, ocean currents, and even the lunar cycle. As winter approaches and the waters cool, vast armies of king crabs set out from the shallow coastal zones, marching to deeper, colder waters where they will spawn and feed. For fishermen, success depends on deciphering these patterns. Satellite data, sonar imaging, and decades of logbooks are meticulously analyzed to pinpoint the crab's next move. Experienced captains track shifts in ocean temperature and current flow, overlaying this data with real-time reports from other boats and underwater drones. Every detail matters. A sudden drop in temperature, a change in the current, or an unexpected bloom of plankton can all signal the start of a migration. The most skilled crews are those who can read these signs with uncanny precision. They deploy their traps ahead of the migration, placing them directly in the path of the moving crabs. Timing is everything. Set too early and the traps come up empty. Too late and the crabs have already passed. It is a high-stakes chess match played out in the shadowy depths where every move is informed by science and sharpened by experience. Biologists and oceanographers work alongside fishermen, tagging crabs and tracking their journeys with GPS beacons, building a deeper understanding of how climate change and shifting ocean conditions might alter future migrations. This collaboration is vital, ensuring that the harvest remains sustainable even as the environment evolves. In the end, the pursuit of king crab is as much about knowledge as it is about courage. It is a testament to the power of science, of men who listen to the language of the sea, translate it into action, and use it to unlock the ocean's greatest rewards. The science of the hunt is written in the tides, the temperature, and the unending curiosity of those who chase the world's most coveted catch. Gap-1.5s. When the Bering Sea roars its fiercest, king crab fishermen face not just the challenge of the catch, but a relentless battle against the elements. Towering waves, freezing rain, and hurricane-force winds turn the deck into a gauntlet of ice and steel. Out here, survival is an art honed by tradition, sharpened by technology, and enforced by unbreakable discipline. Every journey begins with meticulous preparation. Before the first trap is ever set, crews outfit their vessels with reinforced hulls, anti-icing systems, and heated wheelhouses. Survival suits are checked and rechecked, while emergency gear, life rafts, EPIRBs, and satellite phones are kept within arm's reach. When a storm threatens, captains rely on advanced weather forecasting tools, satellite imaging, and real-time radar to plot a course through or around the worst of it. Sometimes the only option is to anchor and ride out the storm, trusting in the strength of the boat and the experience of the crew. On deck, every movement is deliberate. Anti-slip boots grip the slick steel. Hydraulic winches and automated sorting tables reduce the time spent in the open, while floodlights and cameras allow the crew to work safely even in the blackest night. When ice builds up on the rigging, men wield sledgehammers and steam hoses, breaking it free before the weight can threaten the vessel's stability. Communication is lifeline. Crews keep constant contact with other boats, sharing weather updates and warnings. The bond among fishermen is forged in adversity, each one knowing that in these waters, looking out for your fellow mariner can mean the difference between life and death. Yet, for all the technology and training, there are moments when only grit and determination stand between the crew and disaster. It's a test of resilience where every successful haul is not just a triumph over the sea's bounty, but over its fury. In the world of king crab fishing, survival is the ultimate prize, and the greatest story never seen by those on shore. Chapter 12. The Economics of King Crab, Gap-1.5s. Beyond the waves and the perilous pursuit lies an intricate web of economics that governs the king crab industry. From the icy waters of the Bering Sea to the bustling seafood markets of Tokyo, New York, and beyond, the journey of king crab is a testament to global commerce and economic interdependence. The market for king crab is a dynamic ecosystem influenced by various factors. Pricing is determined by supply and demand, which can fluctuate dramatically based on seasonal harvests, environmental conditions, and international trade policies. A successful season can see prices soar, benefiting fishing communities, while a poor one can lead to significant economic strain. Supply chains are the arteries of the king crab market. Once the catch is hauled aboard, it undergoes immediate processing to ensure freshness. The crabs are sorted, cleaned, and flash-frozen on the spot, ready for transportation. They embark on a complex journey, often traveling thousands of miles by sea, air, and land to reach their final destinations. Logistics companies play a crucial role, ensuring timely delivery while maintaining the stringent quality standards demanded by consumers. The economic impact on fishing communities is profound. In many coastal towns, king crab fishing is not just a livelihood but a way of life. The industry supports a vast network of jobs, from the fishers themselves to dock workers, processors, and transporters. During peak seasons, local economies experience a surge in activity, with businesses such as restaurants, hotels, and supply stores benefiting from the influx of capital. However, the industry also faces challenges. Regulatory frameworks designed to ensure sustainable fishing practices can impose quotas and restrictions that affect profitability. International trade disputes and tariffs can disrupt markets, leading to price volatility. Moreover, the increasing awareness of environmental issues and the push for sustainable seafood practices are reshaping the landscape, requiring adaptation and innovation from all stakeholders. In conclusion, the king crab industry is a microcosm of global economic forces at play. It demonstrates how natural resources, human endeavor, and market dynamics intersect to create a complex, interdependent system. For the communities involved, the stakes are high, and every season is a balancing act between risk and reward, tradition and innovation, survival and prosperity.